Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to Black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the Tax Credit Scholarship Program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. 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 From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn it around. Dear Lord, it's me again. God's gonna turn it around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
Tamika Scott. Yeah. As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right. The storm is almost over.
You give up, you come too far to turn back now. yeah, here we go, it's our time. Note to self, yeah, no more pressing rewind. Gotta get your head in the game, it's time to play. I know it's hard, but you'll thank me someday. Note to self, yeah, here we go, it's our time. Here we go, it's our time, yeah. I'm tired of running away. I'm looking you in the eye, facing my fears for the first time. See, it's okay to be you. You got nothing to prove. 'Cause in the end, it's gonna be alright, yeah. Get to taking them chances, oh yeah. Don't never care what no one says, no. Better learn your lesson. It's time for you to learn your lesson, yeah. Note to self, yeah. Here we go, it's our time. Here we go, it's our time. Here we go. Note to self, yeah. No more pressing rewind. No more looking back, no. Gotta get your head in the game. It's time to play. I know it's hard, but you'll thank me someday. Note to self, yeah. Here we go, it's our time. Been away from street lights, free world, but when it's getting late, I need you right next to me. I need the nights next to you. So if it's getting late.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling today? You looking kind of swaggy today. What's going on?
Hey, man, you know what it is. That life of running out and catting and drinking and all kind of stuff, but I made it.
Did you say catting?
Yeah.
What's catting, Todd?
I'm not quite sure, but it's got a sexual connotation.
Does Janine know about this catting?
Only in my my comic book life.
All right, man, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That's my man, Todd Stroger. He is president / now officially village administrator in the village of Robbins. It was, first of all, this is the last time I'm going to give you the shine because then I got to go back to the mayor. But it was pretty. First of all, let me just say, if you were not at, good morning to everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's do this. Let's say what's up, and then we'll circle back to Todd. Ruthie Mo.
What up?
What up? Ruthie Mo got a coat on. I'm
Look
in
at
here.
that.
Look at her. She like, she went back to winter.
It's a little nippy.
It's not. She like,
I am on your side because I looked this morning and it was 37 degrees. And I was
yeah,
like,
but
what?
we're in the studio. The lights,
I
the
got my
bright.
fan on. I gotta get
You gotta
acclimated.
warm up,
I gotta
right?
get acclimated.
Ruthie, you warm blooded. Is that what they call it?
No, I'm
Warm
not.
blooded?
No, I'm not.
You cold blooded?
No, I'm not.
Cold
I'm warm blooded.
blooded. Well, you know, cold blooded means you're a snake.
Ooh, a cold-blooded snake.
You a cold blooded snake. Don't be that.
Huh.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you a cold blooded, just like
Well, yeah, snakes.
You mean like a reptile?
snakes, reptiles.
Reptiles are, yeah.
They're
But
temperature.
I
Okay,
never
what
thought about that with
cold-blooded
the song
Gecko?
until
Can
you
I be
just
a
said it.
cold-blooded gecko?
You a cold blooded snake.
It could be a gecko.
What's
great
on there?
about gecko?
It ain't a snake.
That's true. It's not a snake.
Yeah, it's not a snake, but if you go to Florida or if you go to the islands, the geckos are not your friends.
They're not?
You know,
What?
they're everywhere.
They ain't like the Geico dude.
No, you know they're every. You know, it's
Right.
like it's like Jerry the mouse, right? Like Jerry the mouse looks like friendly and adorable, and then when you
yeah.
see like a real mouse, you be like, that ain't Jerry.
That ain't Jerry.
No, for real.
Right? And the Geico thing, the Geico, whatever it is.
Gecko.
Gecko. Well, you know, I call it Geico because it's all messed up now.
Yeah.
Geico messed up the gecko. So when you're in these places, they're like for us, they're like bugs. So they're like everywhere, and the next thing you be in your kitchen and you be like,
It's too much.
it's right. You be like, don't, and
My
you know,
sister just actually did have a story like that in Florida.
yeah, I'm telling you, Florida, anywhere south, those suckers are everywhere. Don't go to like
Snakes.
Dominican Republic. They got these rats without tails.
Really?
What?
They like big. They look like big. I could not concentrate at the resort because they had these big old things and they ran around and they were like as big as cats. They looked like rats, but they didn't have tails. And
Is that a fennel?
I don't know what the wuck it was, but whatever it was, I was like, this I can't eat. I just can't eat.
over there.
I was like, it's just not the good. Yeah, so Dominican, no. All right, Ruthie Moore. So you were a little chilly. We were gonna warm blood you up. We'll turn the heat on if
No,
we
you
have
don't,
to.
You don't have to.
Okay, I could shine the light back
Oh
on.
no,
this a little
Ruthie,
bit more.
I like that idea. You turn the heat up, it gets hot, and then you turn it off.
Yeah, but then you're like cooking, and then it's like you can't sweat out your good clothes today, Todd. You can't sweat out your good clothes. All right, Ruthie Moore. Sonia Escobar. How you feeling this bright and early morning?
Good morning. I'm feeling good.
Good.
I want to know everything about last night.
Well, let's do this. We'll talk about it when we
last
get on
night.
the plane. Let's do this. Let's get this thing.
Wait, you good, Maze?
Well,
morning.
thank you, Ruthie. Yes, I am struggling a little bit because my body takes a long time to wind down. And so even if I get home by bedtime, it's like, what's going on? Wait. So it's like, then by the time I finally lay down, I woke up in the chair today at 2:25. When you wake up in the chair at
And
2:25,
you feel like you just wasted your
yeah, you wasted
I
your
mean, you
sleep.
upset.
And it's like I was asleep, but I wasted my sleep in the chair because it's like, but my body be like, hold on, doc, this don't count. That didn't count.
In the early days, my wife would wake me up and say, "Aren't you coming to bed?" But no, none of that anymore.
Now she be like,
I got all this space.
Yes.
And he don't cut his toenails, so good. All right, y'all. Well, look, I'm good, though. So let's do this. Let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. We are flying past, you know what? We got to build an airport, a landing strip in Robbins, Illinois, which is the home of Bessie Coleman. Right? Also the home of S.B. Fuller, the multi-millionaire. Did you know they were trying to build Robbins to be the black, like another Black Wall Street? That's what it's supposed to be, like Tulsa. It was like the first black incorporated town and all that stuff. But yesterday, you all, Robbins began the process of reuniting last night, and I must tell you that I was wholly impressed. I'm not if I feel like saying emotionally moved, make y'all think I was gonna cry or something. That wasn't gonna never happen. But
he had his mask on, so
stop
we couldn't
it.
tell. But
The mask don't cover my eyes. But I will tell you that it was a sight to see last night when you entered into the Robbins Park District to see the red, white, and blue, the decorations, the setup, the whole thing, just to see it all laid out, even in a small town. And to watch the transition, you all, I must tell you, and I might have to play some excerpts from the scripts from the speech last night, because watching young Darren, let me reframe that, Mayor Darren E. Bryant take the gavel and to hear him deliver his speech, I think I might have to play that for y'all, because it really was a sight to behold, and then to see his family, to see his mom and dad, to see like his brothers, it was just a real sight to see. Then to see all the new trustees being sworn in, to see the peaceful transfer of power, at the local level, and it was a little testy.
Ooh,
it's a little testy.
Do tell.
It was, I'm not gonna even be shady, but it was when he came in with the coffee cup.
I thought he wasn't coming, so
I thought he wasn't coming either.
Good.
Yes. Shout out to Mayor Tyrone Ward, who did eventually show up to the swearing in ceremony and the turning of the gavel. Less than gracious speech, I must say. Much less than gracious speech. I mean, it was like, really.
There was a little bit of
it was the speech of a. It was a showless.
He hasn't finished the 5 stages of death yet.
I tell you what, he keep it up. We gonna help him to it. I'm just telling you. But it was a sight to see. I'm gonna play excerpts of the speech because I did record it yesterday. Shout out to all of the major news stations. Shout out to the press secretary, who did the thing it was when I came home, 2579 was like, hello and hello and hello, and it was big news, and it was wonderful. And then, guys, it was also pretty good feeling to see the return of our good friend, and our co-host Todd Stroger make his return to government. They voted him in last night as the village administrator. And so it was a pretty awesome night last night.
Nice.
It was. And I just gotta say, shout out to the village of Robbins for putting it down. Like, it's like, how you think, man, we came out there like thinking something. Them people was like, we got this. This is what y'all thought. This is our town. We got, and it was just great to see everybody pulling together and
positivity right through that place.
Oh my God, yeah, it was like the people, like it was like I'm telling y'all, young people, if y'all ran right now, the seniors would support y'all.
Yes, sir.
If the young people ran right now, the purest base of the party would support y'all, because you could see them people was like, look, it's y'all turn, young people. It is y'all turn. And that when that lady got up there and was like, my family was founders of the town, and I'm just thankful that you young people have stuck, because we too old to do it now. Now we'll support you, but y'all got to do it. And it was, hey man, I'm fine. I ain't tell Carrie yet, but we getting ready to get us a house in Robbins. Remember the people said, and all y'all that's out here, buy y'all a house in Robbins. I was like, well, now that you mention it. So it was awesome to see. Shout out to the street team. Shout out to all of the people who made it possible. And I got to give a big shout out to my cousins, David and Fran Bryant, who are Mayor Bryant's parents, who bred the service into him. And I got to give a big shout out to my Aunt Mary Lou, who is David's mother and grandmother of young Darren, who was almost like my grandmother growing up. And I know she's smiling down. And it was kind of one of them things where you were watching. I told y'all a long time ago about this hedge of protection that has been prayed around the Randall family. And it was awesome to see a young man. You know, Darren, the mayor opens up every meeting with prayer.
Yeah.
And is not embarrassed of his faithfulness or his spirituality, but at the same time is like in there, you know, I'm just telling y'all, I was kind of like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. Now it's like, it's all about getting everybody to pull together. And I want us here on the What's in It for the Black People Network to support Robbins and to be, they're going to be, I see the village administrators got a lot of plans. And the mayor's got a lot of plans, and let me back up. The mayor's got a lot of plans that the village administrator that we all know and love will be executing, right? Because you know, rule number 1 in the 48 laws of power, never outshine the master. So we are happy for all of our family members, but I want to just send a big shout out to, don't be snoring when I'm trying to give you some props.
You know, actually what I was thinking was, I wonder what rule number 2 is, because he always talking about rule number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 48 of them. The rule number 2 is don't interrupt Maze while you talk.
Well, rule number 3 is Maze should not be throwing shade out.
No, that's good. Rule number 1 is never outshine the master. And then, let me stop.
Well,
Anyway,
well, master.
no, you have
Never put too much trust in friends.
Right.
That probably is actually a pretty good rule.
There's like 48 of them, and all of them you be like, dad. I be loving when people watch. Can I suggest, as a courtesan now, you should be reading the book?
I am not a courtesan.
Yes,
you need to get one of the vocab books.
No, you need to read 48 Laws of Power, and then you understand.
No, you need to go back to Bolingbrook High.
See, he done changed up already.
See what happened? He gave me a rope.
And now he's trying to whip people with it. All right, y'all. This is awesome. Stay tuned, because we are going to play some snippets of the speech last night. I'm going to find that. I'm going to get my stuff all hooked up when we come after that. How about this one? Rahm Emanuel's going to Japan.
Does he stand?
Is that, that's not Japan.
How do you know?
He going to be the Jewish samurai. Right? You know they got the black samurai going on Netflix.
Like Tom Cruise. He was the white samurai.
Man, that was a good movie, though.
I didn't see it.
It's always, all it was what's the one with Kevin Costner, and he turns into the Indian.
Dancing with Wolves?
Right, it's Dancing with Wolves in Japan.
Oh.
It's like, you know them stories where it's like the miracle white boy always comes to steal all of the tools, and like he comes and he learns and he goes through everything, and then it's like he triumphantly still takes their woman from their tribe and she falls in love with him, and it's like this magical love story, and then they kill the enemy because it's the Japanese guy or the Indian guy who's like, you can't trust that white boy. Mm-hmm. We all love the white boy, and then 10, 20 years later, the white boys have killed everybody.
And that guy was
that guy was like, told you, dang it. He was the evil guy, because the story is always written from the eyes of the victor.
Right.
CPD, did y'all see? CPD has launched Ruthie. The CPD has launched a drone program off the books.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. Can I just tell you this, and we go move on, because we're going to talk about it a little bit later. So I need for y'all to be clear what I said yesterday. They did not release 5,000 emails and 7,500 images. They released 50,000 emails 50,000 emails. And 750,000, that's 750,000 images.
Man, who has that many images?
Look, I think somebody says there's got to be some nudes in there. Ruthie, but
Wild.
my sentiments exactly. All the imagery involved, is right.
In the eye of the beholder, I stay away from that.
Okay, y'all. Can we just say that there's going to be a news story every single day from now until the end of the mayor's campaign?
Man, did they get every email she ever written?
I'm saying like this. I think we thought that we started with 50,000 emails, 50,000 documents. It says to me that I told y'all yesterday, they got more than just the Jones Day stuff, which means, look, this covers what was going on during the riots and during the uprisings, and it clearly delineates. I'll talk about it more, but this, y'all, woo, I'm just telling you, and again, I'll say again, I do not believe this is the Russians. I believe the Russians and the dark web provide the cover for the information flow of all the information that they have acquired illegally to be distributed without anyone catching guilt. I will continue to tell you that this Russian story, dark web, is the portal. Remember them stories we couldn't prove that we heard was not actually, that were actually, we heard, there's no way for anybody to get the rumors that they know to be true out legally. So you have to create the environment, the narrative of this dark web information flow. So now everything that you got can go to the dark web and out. Now you have a portal, because y'all looking at upper echelon politics being played right now. This is the Mace Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. And I can't wait till 7 o'clock so we can talk about, because I can't wait to hear Ruthie's take on the drone program. Off the books. Off the books. Look at your mayor's like, and it says right in the mail, we need to do this because the mayor, and did you know CPD got a research and development team?
Ooh.
You know, that's like Alfred. Right? Like when he come with the new weapons, check this, Mr. Wayne. Right? They be like, check this out. The mayor wants some new gadgets. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to Black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the tax credit scholarship program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing Black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
To see, I'm in a corner, so are you, holding ground in different rooms. It's hard to breathe, but still I try. Maybe I'd leave in another life. Somehow still I don't know why. I believe we'll be alright. Be alright.
WBIFTBPN. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to The Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, village administrator of Robbins, Illinois. Ruthie Moore, superstar celebrity, cold-blooded, millennial.
Intelligence agent.
Intelligence agent of the world.
I wish.
We gonna make her she gonna be the captain of the man. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all later about that. Sonia Escobar in the building, and I'm gonna play. I don't know how good my audio is, but I'm gonna try it real quick. We're gonna try and play some of the excerpts of the speech last night from the mayor of Robbins. I'm gonna try and bring this up real quick for you, Sonia. Here we go. Give me a tissue, Tito. You can't hear it at all?
No, I can't.
Wait, is it not coming through the road? I mean, is it not coming through the...
I can hear it now.
Was it coming through? Can you hear it in your headphones? Is it coming through?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't.
Oh, you know what I'm not doing? I don't
Not
have...
connected.
You like, you're not connected. I told you need to be connected. Don't tell me what to do. I know you're not connected. All right.
Oh, I don't want to cry.
Huh? Hold on. Let me see. I just hit the road button. I'm trying to. All right. Now let's try. Let's see. If I push play. No. Do I? You know what I need? I think I need the cable in. Anyway, well, let's do this. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna try and play some audio a little bit later from excerpts of the mayor's speech last night. In case you were, in case you did not know, in case you missed our conversation a little bit earlier, the mayor of Robbins was sworn in last night. Mayor Darren E. Bryant, youngest black mayor in the state of Illinois.
Hey, you know what I didn't tell you?
What didn't you?
Is that Illinois appellate judge Carl Anthony Walker,
Sigma man,
from your chapter.
You didn't. I know where he's from. Okay.
You know, I got to keep you informed. 'Cause I don't know what you know. You don't know nothing.
First of all, Carl Anthony, appellate court justice Carl Anthony Walker is a legend from my chapter, Epsilon Xi at the University of Illinois.
He's too quiet to be a legend.
No, he's actually he is a lawyer as well as a CPA.
Right.
He has helped numerous people. He climbed up the ranks of judge. He went from being a circuit. So what was it? Circuit court. He started at circuit. Then he's now an appellate court justice. But he is the guy that, you know, like when the undergrads get in trouble. He's the guy that always came back and always protected the chapter. He's a member of our distinguished service chapter, which is a very elite. I think there's only like 200 people that are in that currently alive. So Carl Anthony Walker, Judge Carl Anthony Walker is a legend from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. He's also a legend in Phi Beta Sigma. He's been the National Legal Counsel as well as the Regional Legal Counsel. And I can also say that he saved me from jail numerous times. And it was funny because he would be the guy that's like, you know how they are. It's okay. Kids are going to be kids. And he'll be, you know, when I had to go in front of the regional board for my acts of, you know, he would be my defense lawyer.
That's cool.
And I'd always get off because, nobody wants to mess with Judge Walker, even when he was Attorney Walker. So, yeah, shout out. It was a star-studded event, man. It was a star-studded event. Robbins was shining. Shine. That's a terrible song, though.
It is.
It's like the wackest of whack.
Catchy, though.
No, it's really not. It's just Jay-Z, Beyonce, and we the best. I hate all of that. It's like they have that. They need to get away from DJ Khaled. They just do. All right. How about this? J. Mal Green says that his project was halted because the mayor said stop. David Doig refused to acknowledge it.
No, what he said was, she petty. That's pretty much what he said.
Another one.
She is, though. She is. I mean, it's like that. Like those are like the dumb L's. Those are like the L's where somebody says, why give them this? Why even give them this? Like, why allow a tangible example of somebody? See, that's when you point and you say, all you're going to do is say for the whole next 2 years, you block the community center in the midst of violence. So J. Mal Green can't get a community center, but Pilsen could get $37 million? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to tell you that's not going to work out well.
Right.
Not going to work out well.
Gives them a sounding board.
Yep. How about this one, y'all? Tim Tebow, famous for taking a knee, is back in the league after 8 years. You need somebody with muscles. Ruthie, help him.
I wait during the break.
So look, it is. It's above your head, man.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, man,
it
seems like it's pretty high.
You could just let your chair up. That could work. Oh yeah,
I didn't notice that.
You're right.
That's probably what the difference is.
My little one sitting over
right.
there.
It's like, well, look, you about the same height as Ruthie. Oh, but that's in real life too. So anyway,
Ruthie, you're a tall person anyway.
Tim Tebow though is back in the league. Remember Tim Tebow? He took a knee.
He's not gonna make it.
Oh no. The white boy said,
Christian guy.
Right, he took a knee, a Jesus knee, not a knee on the neck knee.
Right.
White people love that Jesus knee, but they did not like the knee on the neck knee. Yeah. But what's so crazy is that Urban Meyer, classic white guy. See, I think the world has changed on Urban Meyer, and
is he a big Christian guy too?
Yeah, but he's also the like the superstar coach that everybody says is the greatest thing ever. But that's for college. Because these brothers ain't honoring that stuff that he used to do back in the day. Nope, sorry. Brothers like, and then in the league too. Like Urban Meyer, you could be a genius to a kid who trying to make it to the league. But to a guy who already making $20 million a year, they going to break Tebow's legs. I would. I'd bust Tebow up. The black people owe Tebow for Colin. All the black people that didn't stand with Colin need to put Tebow out the league.
He got to pay for it.
He got to pay. Man, I'm going to tell you, I would tell y'all this story about these guys that I know. Tebow got to pay for racism. Tebow just got to pay for racism. I'm just telling you. He got to pay for the racism. I'm going to tell y'all a story on the break about that. Tebow got to pay for the... You already know what this story is. All right. How about the NRA tried to declare bankruptcy?
Really?
And the judge was like, we ain't going.
We're
not going. We see all them country boys with racks in the back.
Right.
They shot their shot though.
I like how you did that. I see how you did that there. How about this one? Liz Cheney of Wyoming, who voted for Trump and supported him, is now on the way out. They're about to oust her from House leadership because she will not accept the big lie. Y'all, I really do. I had this on our schedule and we might still talk about it. I'm trying to understand how important is Trump still, right? And the reason I ask that is because I'm watching the rise of the Nazis. Yo, this joint is like you could literally, if it was a train and it was 2 tracks, you could be literally, and all of the stuff that's happening right now is the same stuff that happened in Germany. And do you know they literally dismantled democracy in 6 months?
I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen to me.
I could not believe.
I'm gonna end up in Canada. See y'all later.
I was trying to warn. That's Handmaid's Tale.
Oh.
That's why he's supposed to be in Canada for Handmaid's Tale. Chicago is the front line of the war in the Handmaid's Tale, just so you know. Ruthie, I'm telling you.
Man, please.
Come on, Ruthie.
Yeah, they already got a mask for y'all.
No, it's not gonna
I'll
happen.
fit you in the trunk. We'll go right over to Michigan and cross
You
over.
Harriet Todman.
The National Academy of Sciences says that 13% of the COVID spread in the black community came from people in and out of the county jail.
Really?
Yes, they said that you could go into county jail, and if you were in and out, you get it and take it back to the community. And 13% of the spread, they're saying, in black communities was directly due to the county jail. Now, Tom Dart, you know, he got Harvard and Yale talking about that's a lie. But I could easily see that.
I can see that, even though, remember, I think they had 2 stories on the jail. And
the jail was the COVID hotspot of the century.
And he was like, no, we're spraying people and all kind of. Yeah.
He said, we set the national standard through which everybody else in the world their county jails became COVID hotspots too. Ruthie, you got something on that? You sure?
This is a little out the way, but I ain't trying to hear nothing about nobody in jail coming back to the community and spreading nothing when HIV/AIDS was running rampant and all these other communicable diseases that that black people were bringing back home to communities. So I ain't trying to hear about COVID. I'm tired of all these, like we've been suffering from so many of these conditions. And now they setting up the vaccine clinics. Now they setting up the contact tracing and all these things that could have really, truly benefited. I'm done. Go ahead, Maze.
Dang, you went deep.
I just, it's just too much sometimes.
Dang.
To think like, oh, this is what a proper protocol looks like. Oh, this is, so when the statistics benefit the whole narrative, then it's cool. So I'm just over it.
Todd, if you were to see yourself in the camera right now, you really should just let your chair up.
Or just let the mic down.
Right, he can't. He's just, the mic is too tough for
I
him.
was just waiting. I was waiting for the break
to hit the button. Okay, it's you look. Don't joke. I'm leaving it alone again. All right, and finally, the U.S. EPA tells Mayor Lightfoot to slow down on moving the scrap metal yard. I'm sure she's going to say, after much study, we've decided that it was our idea. You're lying. They told you. We almost feel like, you know how they do those things where when the person comes up to them, when the mayor comes up to the mic, I just want the theme music to be, you're a liar! Man, you never heard that from Run DMC. Ruthie, have you ever heard you're a liar? Sonia, fine, you're a liar. We might be able to get away with a little bit of that. Let's talk about it. But I feel like every time the mayor comes to the mic, I'll be like, you lying. You're lying to us. And it's like, I feel like she ain't going to even know what to say for the next 3. Because every day she gets up from now on, Todd, there's going to be a question about them dang on emails.
What she gonna dodge them emails like Hillary Clinton dodged that server stuff?
She ain't gonna be able to.
She gonna try.
Let me tell you.
She's not
Todd,
gonna
let me tell you what. Mayor Lightfoot, I really wish we could have Todd narrate this whole thing. Because it's about to be a slippery slope. And Todd could be like, see right there? Right? Here, check this. Y'all remember this?
Of course. Too much.
Boy, you never shut up. You talk too much.
You talk too much.
Man, I'm going to tell y'all what.
Over there,
I know about your kind.
Independent network news
on Channel 9. Everywhere you go,
where you are at,
you talk about this
and you talk about that. You took it
right back.
Your mouth is so big. One bite will kill
a Big Mac.
You talk too much.
You never shut up. You talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up.
You talk about people.
You don't even know. You talk about places never go.
You talk about
I love these old school
from
videos.
head to toe.
Said your mouth's moving.
No, but there's one. They ain't got You're a Liar.
No.
LL?
I mean, there may be one, but I don't know.
I thought it was You're a Liar. That maybe that was you talk, huh?
LL, I think.
Is it LL? Okay, maybe it is LL, but whoever it is, that needs to be the mayor's theme song.
And before next time, we got to delineate who's Run and who's
I'm DMC. I like DMC. I Run, even though Run was the lead, I thought DMC was the coolest. Like Daryl Mack was like, he was like Daryl Mack was like,
he said he was drunk like all the time.
Daryl Mack though, remember he was punching. What was the movie when he was
Tougher Than Leather?
Tougher Than Leather. They knocked everybody out in that movie. It was like, what you say? Yeah,
that was fun.
Huh? You got him?
No, oh my gosh.
Oh no, yeah. Oh man, old school. Man, I remember when rappers. That's when. I don't think anything could have been bigger in the world than Run DMC.
Oh yeah.
When Raising Hell came out, there was nothing big. Like, I really think that might have been the downfall of hip hop.
Why you say that?
Because that's when the white kids was like, "Oh, we could do this."
No, they'd already
walk this way, talk this
they'd already
way.
figured out with
Beastie Boys.
Yeah, the
Beastie Boys were after Run DMC.
No, according to the movie, didn't they all start at the same time?
They start no, but
no.
Run
I guess
DMC
it wasn't
took off.
the movie.
Run DMC took off, and the Beastie Boys were their openers. And then it was like they took, you know how it go. Black dudes be doing the thing, and the white people be like, "Oh, we could." It's like New Edition, and then here come New Kids on the Block. New Kids on the Block make $1 million. New Edition. I'm gonna tell you, I think I got pictures of Ralph Tresvant still sitting on the floor in the airport with the clothes he had on the night before.
Oh,
and
Michael Vivens tells a great story of getting off the bus after touring, and they get a check for like $50.
Oh yeah. But the funny part was, Michael Bivens, the same airport, Michael Bivens was on his way to the private terminal. And Ralph is like, because they ain't all cool. Like it's like, so it was like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It was like, I was like, I mean, I felt some kind of way because, you know, when your wife is like in love with New Edition, and, you know, there go Ralph. I was like, that's your boy sitting on the.
That's your boy.
There go your boy right there. I think I won. I was like, he did a great show last night, but he needed to change clothes. I was like, he musty over there, right? Like, and he ain't even got a chair. How you sitting on the floor in white, man? I was talking about Ralph so bad, and I really like Ralph a lot. But I was just like,
but that goes to show you, because that was interesting, because it reminds me of what Teddy Pendergrass' story. When
Teddy Pendergrass was a bad dude, though.
But no, when
he killed his man,
Harold Melvin had signed a deal where he was staying in like the Ritz, and they were staying in like Super 8.
That sound about right.
It sounds right.
It does. I'm telling you. I bet you. Let me tell you.
Well, in the doco, it said that it wasn't really Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. It was just the Blue Notes, but Harold Melvin was smart enough to go in and say, "Well,
I'm the leader.
Yeah,
I lead all these people,"
and he got all the perks.
That's how a lot of stuff used to happen that way. Still happens that way. A lot of people go in. It's just like we were talking about the other day when people go into the room and negotiate. Remember when I had the tirade the other day, and it was like, we got these black people that get to the table based on their blackness, and then negotiate for them. They be like what they think, not for the rest of the people.
Right, negotiating for themselves.
They be negotiating like, yeah, do this, and the black people would be happy for me. And it's like, they be like, so no, really they do. And it's like, and then they put themselves in front of the issue,
right?
Thus blocking us because we don't want to hurt you. And so it's like they get to do $1 billion worth of business behind Joe's $150,000 salary. When sis, we can help you make $250,000 or $300,000, and you can have some power. Cause the power doesn't come from blocking your people. Power comes from having your people's back and your people saying, if y'all touch her, we got you.
Right. Opening up the hole so you can run right through.
They look, see, we tend to look for our protection, white people to protect us from black people when we get in those spots, as compared to us being the protector of black people and white people feeling like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be safe.
Yeah.
And that's where they get it confused. And then once you get comfortable, when you get on the corporate jet and you go to the digs, you be like, this is nice up here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the Negroes at bay, and you keep buying me tea and crumpets. Whereas if you didn't keep the Negroes at bay, we could all be eating steak.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The challenges of blackness.
One day I'm going to get one of those big steaks they got with the bone that everybody likes. Now, what is that?
Tomahawk. Check this out. This called a tomahawk. They are currently on sale for $14.99 a pound at Mariano's. Now, I'm not really doing a shame. That's not to plug Mariano's, but I am going to tell you that they have very high quality ones. And I would tell you, you should buy 4 this week.
You mean one's supposed to feed one person?
I mean, that's the whole point, though. Like the point,
it's pretty huge.
It is pretty huge, but I'm saying like you should, as the returning breadwinner, right? As the returning breadwinner and earner, you should take 4 of those cow bones because it's like a whole cow rib with a little bit of steak on it, and you should barbecue them all up and be like, "Daddy is home." Well, you ain't never left.
But it's not like that for my family. They're not that big a steak people.
That's not the point, Todd. It's not the point. You do it for the gram. You put them plates down and you put it and you be like, this is what it's right. You be like, this is what it's like.
No, a lobster tail would go over a lot better, I think.
Some butter,
Todd,
garlic.
you should do that. You should. As a matter of fact, why you tripping?
Is it the 1st and 15th? I'm gonna have to wait to the 15th.
I'm saying, black people know. What I've been hearing is you could pay for your dinner on terms now since people buying it. But this is all I'm saying, man. I'm just telling you. You should take the family out. Y'all should go to Chicago Cut. Well, let me back up. Y'all should go to the Woodlawn.
Mm-hmm.
Then after y'all go to the Woodlawn, y'all should support a black business and go out. Yesterday I was trying to find a black business to go out. Nice, like white tablecloth, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But you should take the family out somewhere nice and everybody dress up and just breathe. I bet you if you sit at the table, just like when we was at Looms that time and everybody was like, is that them? Is that? You go get you a good you call me, I'll make sure that whoever give you a good table, the kids go sit down.
We're gonna be by the kitchen and
see that's what you use. That's why you.
No, I'm not used to it.
Okay, so I'm just telling you, man.
Go out. Last time I think I went to a black restaurant that I knew that was supposed to be upper with white tablecloths. I think that was
the Shark Bar,
George in Los Angeles. Does that sound right?
What? No, dog. I'm talking about Chicago. So anyway, all I'm saying is, man, go. You ain't. I know y'all. I know you cheap, but go have a nice meal.
Fiscally conservative.
Thank you. I was gonna say frugal, but thank you, Sonia.
But nah, man, go out, man. Just eat you. I remember one time Todd took us all out when he did not give me a job. Right when he did not give me a job, and he bought us all chicken wings. I was like, he is such out. It was the day he faked me out and told me he was going to give me a job. I was like, this is going to be awesome. We're going to go out and have chicken wings on a regular. We had a big old table. They was like, hello, Mr. Stroger.
Maze is Chinaman. Chinamen always need to circle back. Make sure that things are going right. They forgot to. It was my responsibility to remember what I was supposed to do.
That's what happened with the job.
Mm-hmm.
He's been talking about this for a long time.
No. What happened was he connected me down the hall with Gene Mullins.
Okay,
and
he's
Gene
right about
Mullins
that.
was like, and Gene Mullins like, hell no. Hell no. And it's like most executives in spots. If the executive, most of the executives have a lot of things to do. And often they rely on the advice and counsel of the people that are close to them. If the people close to them have a different agenda than them, oftentimes the people, unless you zero in on it and be like, yo, do what I tell you, they usually can skirt it, right? Or they can present you some information and tell you something and divert you from where you want to go. And so that's all. That's what happened. His dude was like,
I thought it was a flea flicker and he did a hook and ladder.
He was like, we can't have him up in here. They was like, oh no, because you know me, I'd be like, what are you doing? Get over here. You ain't on the president. Let me stop. Go ahead. What's up, Ruthie? What you gonna say before we go to break?
I just hope that this can be a healing moment for y'all two brothers to move past.
No, because he didn't give me a job.
Hold on, Mr. Jackson, because even in spite of that, you still found it in your spirit to support his new endeavor. And so you are the bigger person. Congratulations, Maze. Todd, you extra petty for not getting him no job.
and
extra petty.
You know it though. Story of my life. Story of my life. I'm not tripping, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It is. I just want the
you
best
live a life in spite of.
No, I live a life of. I've been blessed.
I've been blessed. There was a guy who you know, but I'm not gonna say who he is, who asked me to put one of our fraternity brothers, but it was a guy that he was, his age. And, like you say, I'm running around doing things, not seeing him and like every time I see him, he's like, did you find a job for him? And I'm like, come on, give me a break. There's a lot of things. He's like, you got to remember, because I don't forget you. And I was like, all right, I'll remember next time.
Mm-hmm. Next time. And then look.
That was deep, Todd.
Well, next time means like next time I see you, I will find something. If I have to fire somebody,
to my fault, I don't forget my friends.
And at that time, I was in a bad mood all the time.
They was eating up some chicken wings. They was having a chicken wing party. And I was like, this is an alpha club. That's probably what it was.
He's right about that, too. We didn't like them.
Everybody, that's right. Uh-huh. See how them alphas
did them, though.
Let me just be clear. Let me just be clear.
There just were no Sigmas around.
What the hell am I, John?
Well, you are
okay. And meanwhile, look, Sonia y'all did not do no breaks and right! Yeah, what about your friends? Hey, y'all. Oh, my God. I love the Maze Jackson Show. I love my co-hosts.
Back when music was music.
Todd, was that the dance you did? Because they had a dance like that.
Can you name the members of TLC, Todd?
Oh, God, I'm not, what?
Left Eye.
I'm not 1,000.
Chili,
and yeah, I know them all.
Okay, who was your favorite?
Thin, thinner, and thinnest.
You know what? I went through phases. I started with Left Eye because I was wild and crazy. I was a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah, and you wanted to burn something down.
Then one day in the What About Your Friends video, Chili caught my eye. But then when the red light special came and I saw T-Boz and she was, give me the red, I was like, goodness, what do you do? What do you do? This is what you do. You go to break. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to Black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the Tax Credit Scholarship Program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black group-led organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
When you got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game. And then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King. And I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long. And Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound. And before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you. And you caught it, classic P-Mac, catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy.
On his head.
On his head.
Yeah, Corey was 6'4", man. I used to just, I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught earlier, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard.
What are y'all takes on blended families?
Meaning white people? Or what? No, she mean like you got kids, this person got kids, y'all get together and bring the whole family together. I don't know. I have zero experience with it. I imagine it could be challenging. Especially, I think the older the children are, I think the more challenging it could be. I think if it's little children or something, you can kind of explain it to them, and they may like grow up together and kind of in that same space where this is mom, this is dad type thing. But if you talk about older kids where they literally have a mom or dad, another person like that has been in their lives, when they're older, and you're like, oh, now this is your stepbrother, stepsister. Like, nah, we like 17. Like, I'll bone her.
And if this family don't work, you can just give me to the game anyway. It ain't gonna matter. No woman will ever be important. I'm not being an ass. I'm serious. In my mind, the value of that kind of a commitment is family. I got that already. So now we just chilling. So you ain't gonna really know my children.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Making trouble for myself, but I don't know any better. I could call you, but it's too much, so I write a stupid letter for you, saying these things that I cannot begin to explain, but I could help you forget it, cause you regret the pouring false soap in the white she wrote then into your heart. You paved the road that led to nowhere and watched it fall apart, and I may never be or be enough for you to leave it behind. Let me try to change your mind. It's not over till it's over. It's not over just this time.
WIFTBPM.
Enough is enough.
listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar on the wheels of steel. I'm going to try and play again. I'm going to try and see if I can get a clip from the mayor's speech. Sonia, make sure, and I'm connected to the road. I'm going to come on back over to the other side, and I'm going to play just an excerpt from Mayor Darren E. Bryant's speech last night. No? Yeah, it's not connected to the road. That's not right. That's still not right. All right, y'all. We'll come back to it. But yeah, I'm not understanding why it's not able to play the video from the screen. Ordinarily, we're able to. I don't know. Is it because I got both of these things mixed up? Let me try it like this. Can you turn it up, or is it me? All right, I'm gonna start from here. Okay, go. We will be able to come to work. And you have That's his daddy giving him a tissue.
Roberts will lead
boy. Yeah! Oops, sorry.
Humble and honored by people. Humiliated by God. I stand down above people with not perfect but the same. Love is finding its way back to politics, and love is using me.
Go ahead, boy.
I also stand on my platform. Basic government. We bring fairness and equity, equality. We will establish processes and procedures. We will build a whole citizen. The total well-being of citizens through residential, educational, financial development, will also create jobs and training. We will continue, with thanks to their awards, continue to build our infrastructure with roads, streets, lighting, to welcome a robust business district and housing development.
Somebody play the phone. This boy.
Public safety. We will strengthen our fire and police departments so they can ultimately serve us at the national capacity. And the one that we're supposed to be is to unify routes. We will unify routes with various programs, events, and ultimately community service. On the previous village shield, in red, on the bottom crescent, achievement through community spirit. Our forefathers and mothers knew that life can be a fall. But together as a community, I can fail. I look forward to the next 4 years with more of you all. So let's get to work. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor. That was the acceptance speech of Mayor Darren E. Bryant, the youngest black mayor in the Midwest. And for those of y'all that's talking smack about the video, it was an iPhone, but it was because we had janky internet service.
Android
so
love.
that was not Android love. That was actually, you're watching this broadcast on iPhones, just so you're crystal clear. But no.
But Kenneth Steele says Maze was crying like a spanked baby.
Shut it. I was not crying, and you would never see me cry, but I was super excited and I was super proud to see the mayor take the oath and watch the peaceful I don't know how peaceful. Was it peaceful? It was peaceful.
It was peaceful.
But it was nasty.
A little strange.
It was a little nasty. Y'all, I wish y'all could have been there. I really wish we had anyway, it was a great time yesterday. It was had by all. And I just thought it was wonderful to see the passing of the baton from age to youth with a tremendous amount of age and wisdom to support the youth and the enthusiasm. And so we are excited for Mayor Darren Bryant. We are excited for our good friend Todd Stroger as they team up to take care. Tennille, hush. You used the same internet because you was because you probably burnt up my end of the Wi-Fi.
Tanil has
she
has an Android. That's why you upset.
I'm not. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to make sure we shared that with you all. Todd, I actually have the vote for you too, but we're not going to show that.
No, it wasn't my day.
It wasn't. But it was a great day for Robbins, and I look forward to finding a home and building something. One of my kids gonna be living out there if it ain't me. But y'all, let's move on. I know we jumped around a little bit. We did not talk about, and I'm gonna move the James Clyburn thing to 8:00. But I want to talk about this Chicago Police Department's off the record drone program. So here's what we know. We know that the hack of Mayor Lori Lightfoot, I got to re-emphasize this, was 50,000 documents. 50,000. And 750,000 images. That's a lot, y'all. Which means that with 50,000 documents, it means that there's no way everybody's gotten to the bottom of them.
No,
right?
That's just so much.
That's so much. And Ruthie, I do want to do what you said. I want to have a party. I do. I want to take the 50,000 documents. I want to figure out how do we print them or do whatever. Give everybody pages. Tell them what we're looking for. Highlight it. Because what's happening right now, and I just want y'all to understand this. This is the steady drip drum beat. I will maintain that this hack is not so much the Russians. And even if it was the Russians, they hired them. Whoever hired them on the dark web, because they was probably on the dark web like, we need a hacker. Who can hack the man? Somebody's like, I could do that. Who got the money to do it? But again,
this is the Russians on the Ravenswood.
Right. This is the information. This is the highway through which all of the negative information that we have on that they have on the mayor, through which it will flow.
Yeah.
We've already seen 3 stories come out of this set of emails, and nobody's even got, like, ain't nobody even talking about Ed Burke right now. Right? Trials, all that stuff going on, because every reporter is now chewing into these emails. Now, it started with us learning about that there was a series of emails between Jones Day Law Firm and the mayor's office with over the Anjanette Young case. This one takes a different spin. It talks about the fact, and it tracks conversations between the mayor's office and the Chicago Police Department, in which Miss Karen Conway, she is the CPD, Chicago Police Department head of research and development. Now, that to me is the person who finds and develops all the gadgets. Who's gonna, like, they get all the new technology. Research and development is, how do we stun people without killing them? You know, like, you know about these people in the movies. At the James Bond movie, when he getting ready to go on a new mission, they be like, this car shoots oil out, and this car does this, and it, right?
She's Q.
She is the person who does the research and development, and she's in charge of it. And we don't think of that being a thing, but it really is.
I sure didn't until you just started talking about it.
But you think about it, but police are always trying to innovate. So somebody's job is to go test the new machine guns, to go test the lasers. When you hear about all of these new products in policing, because what we found out about this is this drone program was really the response to, part of their response to police chases. Because they were looking for ways, well, partially response to police chases, because it was a less inexpensive way to track cars as compared to this other system where they shot a GPS dart onto the car, and then the car, they didn't have to chase it because they could find it. That would cost $5,000 per shot, per cannon.
That's pretty high tech. I never heard of that.
I've seen it on TV before.
Oh.
And then and then you don't have to chase.
Actually, I've seen Batman do that.
Right. $5,000. So it's $5,000 for the cannon, and then another $500 per dart. Right. So what we see in there is that the risk safety manager, who is now gone, who left in the Anjanette Young scandal, says that's too expensive. That may be too expensive. So why don't we look at the drone program? Now, I don't think it's completely all out of line.
Yeah, but the drone program is more intrusive in everybody else's life.
Well, that's what I'm
going. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but I think when you look at, I don't think that it's unheard of, or I haven't thought about drones patrolling, right? Or them using them. And I think probably in the grand scheme of things, I've always thought that they've been secretly using drones. And I would say that this just confirms it, right? But what's interesting is how it was done. It reminds me very much of the Homan Square situation, where you've got these high-tech secret prisons and secret gadgets. It reminds me of, remember we found out during the riots and stuff, they would jam the cell phones and jam your access to internet, and all of these weapons and tools in the toolbox, which clearly come from this research and development office. Well, now we find out that they did it, but they did it with no oversight. How did they do it with no oversight?
No. How?
They used what we saw in the document as 1505 money. What is 1505 money? 1505 money is the money that they take from seizures and drug dealers, etc., and they put it in a separate fund that's off the books. So they can do little special projects and things without it being. Now, it used to be it didn't have to be budgeted. I mean, you didn't have to reveal it. Now they make it where you have to do it, but they bundle it in pockets. So you kind of got to know what to dig for to find out.
You got to know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
To look for. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a few things in here. First,
you do know that that's either a Twilight Zone or Outer Limits, the new ones. They every once in a while they would touch on that subject of intrusiveness and how technological the police and such were getting.
Well, and again, just think, you live on the third floor and the drone drops down and just looks in your house. You're laughing. Why would they're saying that they, at the same time, the fire department did the same thing and launched a drone program at this same time, and they said they were using it for fire prevention.
Oh, you know what comes next? I've seen a lot.
The little things that walk into your house. You saw
exactly.
them, but you're laughing. But in New York, they got the robot dogs already.
Ooh, those robot dogs sound scary, don't they?
Them Black Mirror ones.
Woo!
Now, in this program, it clearly delineates that this is being done at the request of the mayor and the superintendent. Right? Karen Conway says it in the emails that the mayor and the superintendent. So I guess my thing with the mayor and the police reform thing, transparency, privacy, everything in my estimation that she campaigned on or is supposed to. I mean, police reform was like her thing.
Right, that was her thing.
She has literally been the police in City Hall. Like, you think about 2/3 of the money that we got for CARES Act relief went to police. And I hear you, Todd, on the whole, well, that was logical. We were going to, I mean, I question the mayor's priorities. I question her priorities and her integrity. The whole concept of a drone program that nobody knows about.
I hate those type of things.
Like, who in city council, and I'm going to say like this, because here's what we're going to hear. Somebody's going to come up to us and tell us that this was acceptable by the mayor. So your elected representative, how do you feel about your elected representative coming to you to justify this without knowing about it? They didn't even know about it, though.
Yeah, there's no way to justify
Well,
it.
but because here's what's going to happen. Because there's going to be a question about this. Like either the mayor's not going to, and then you're going to have to ask the chairman of public safety what happened. Now, you know what I want to know, though? What other surveillance programs do they have that they are operating on citizens without telling? We've been focused on ShotSpotter, right?
Right.
What other capabilities are they doing or exercising against the citizens without us knowing, without any type of oversight? Like, so wait a minute, you mean to tell me that there's not a report that comes out every month or whatever that tells the alderman or the head, at least the chairman of public safety?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. There should be something that at least. And
there's not like an intelligence committee, right?
Right, exactly. Usually there's I shouldn't even say that. On this local level, at least I wouldn't expect this kind of stealth. You know, I don't think they should have RoboCop running around or anything like that. If it gets too technological, and all of a sudden they might as well be the U.S. government.
But my question is, what are they like? How's it helped? Like. Well, I mean, we done got ShotSpotter, we done put, and the crime is still going up, and now you telling me she can come look in my house? Y'all, so I gotta ask you, how do you feel about the concept of surveillance and being surveilled by the city of Chicago without anybody even knowing it? Think about this. We had I ain't gonna even trip, because I'm sure y'all ain't tripping, because we had a whole secret jail that everybody was like, oh, well, still over there. They still be pulling up.
Really talks about it.
Right. They still be pulling up and pulling out. And it's like that died. But again, I distinctly remember when we were over at the other place. And remember Todd would be like, man, I saw something in the air.
Yeah.
I promise you. I mean, he was, and he'd be like, no, it's, I'm telling you. And we was like, man, no, be quiet. You tripping. No, because he always wanted to do the UFO story. We like, this dude trying to do the UFO story. Do y'all, Ruthie, I feel some kind of way about being surveilled. When we come back, I'm going to ask you, because you probably got a drone too, don't you? Mm-mm. But you gotta tell us how they work, man.
I don't know nothing about what you talking about.
There go the Secret Service kicking in. All right, y'all, we gonna come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Plus, I'm gonna open up the phone lines because I want to know what you all think about this drone surveillance. Am I blowing it out of proportion? Should somebody know about it? Like, who knew? And are we gonna accept the fact that they're gonna later on today or tomorrow, there are gonna be people from our community telling us that this was okay? Are we going to accept that? Sure we are. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to Black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the Tax Credit Scholarship Program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing Black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Sometimes have a tendency to look at you religiously, yeah, 'cause nothing even matters.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Todd Stroger and Ruthie Moore. They trying to have their own show.
No, Ruthie trying to force me to take a combo shot. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Ruthie gonna take.
I don't think it's available yet, but I know it's in the works.
I think I heard we gonna throw the What's in It for the Black People COVID concert. And you can, yeah, you can only come if you got the vaccine. And we gonna get Dante, and we gonna get all the people.
That's smart
on the thing. Look, I'm telling you, that's super smart. I'm telling you, the Whifnable family. We told them we was gonna have the Dante Hop, but you got to sing "What About My Love." You got to have the shot. Debbie, hit me. What about my shot? Do you forgive me? Take this thing. We should get Dante to make a remix to that. Right. What about my love? You don't take that shot. Won't be no love.
Maybe you ought to do it. You know, Weird Al Yankovic made a living off of
Eat
that
it.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Eat it.
Parodies.
Yeah, I hated Weird. You know what? The worst was when you were waiting for Beat It to come on and then it would turn into Eat It. Because I really didn't. I mean, Beat It was like my favorite song. I like Beat It way more than Billie Jean. Maybe it was all the gang stuff. Right? Like it was like Billie Jean was like, you a sucker. Beat It was like dun 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 dun, dun, and then Eddie Van Halen. Damn.
There was a lot to it. That was the video.
You want to show them that you're really not scared. You're playing with your life. This ain't no truth or dare.
It was like a movie.
Yeah,
it was.
Michael Jackson. That was it, right? And then they did the and then they tied their arms together. Remember? And they had the switchblade fight, and I was like, "What is this? West Side Story in the subway?"
In the subway.
All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I opened up the phone lines. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. Ruthie Mo, you know that's your job. Could you say it for the people slow? So
Yep, the number is I still don't know about heart.
What?
872.
That's because they didn't have folks in Pembroke. They had.
Here you go. I know what the yellow pages is. 872-259-7474.
That's right. Call us. I want to know what y'all think about this mayor's drone program. And should we not be care? Should we just accept it?
Why is hers? How you just gonna say it's hers?
Did you read the memo? Because I did. And it clearly denoted that this was a request of the mayor and the superintendent. And we all know that the superintendent is really not the superintendent. The mayor is the superintendent. And the reality is, right now, I'm sure David Brown is paying her to not work, for him to not work. Because he like, I could leave any day. No, don't do it. You know, she'd be like, I'm going. He like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And she at the door. She holding on to the to his feet like, please, David, don't go. What else I gotta do? He's like, I'm taking a vacation for 6 months. That's fine, David. Just don't quit. You don't gotta show up. Just don't quit. Cause if you quit, they ain't gonna never shut up. Can you, think of. Can y'all? Let me just say, if David Brown quits, like seriously, which. Who's left, really? Like, really? Like, I keep forgetting Janice Jackson is gone until, like, y'all, think of
She ain't gone yet.
Yeah, no, she gone. Oh, she gone. Oh, she is gone. She like, you can take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. And she took her top 3. She was like, and so we're clear, you ain't getting none of this. None of this. And what is happening is, I'm telling you what's happening. The Russian pipeline is they're picking the limbs off the mayor. They're stripping her of her credible people, at the same time destroying her credibility from the inside.
Yeah.
So you got outside attacks, like she has nobody who can defend her. Like right now, that's why I feel like Todd would be the perfect narrator for this. Like if Todd was narrating this, he could probably tell you how this is gonna go. When do you think they start the countdown?
I think it's actually already started.
Yeah, but for you, they published it.
Right.
Like, when do they start the published countdown of the timeout? Let me ask a question. Am I over?
You know, there's a certain level of respect they will give a lawyer. So they're going to give her a certain level of respect. Or I shouldn't say a lawyer, more of like a prosecutor. She was a prosecutor, right?
She needs to be prosecuted.
I didn't see that.
But she is a prosecutor, and she operates like one.
She does.
She operate like she would have been better to be some. But this drone program, Ruthie, do you feel any kind of way about the drone program?
What drone program?
Right, because the mayor, and can I tell you what the craziest part is? The mayor is still saying that these emails, no one has proved that these emails are genuine. Like, you know what that was? You know what that is?
Deny.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
That's right.
It was. I saw him leaving. This signature right here says that you was in. It wasn't me.
Mace, are you gonna believe me? Or are you gonna believe your lying eyes?
And you know what's the funny part? When they be making you, when they making you look at, when they be, what is it? Oh, when they be tricking you, and they be like, no, really, then you be asking yourself, wait a minute.
Yeah, right. You start
You're
questioning
like, wait a minute. How could you not? Do you see what this says right here on this piece of paper? That it wasn't me. Like, has that ever happened to you where people make you feel like you crazy? Ruthie, like, hell no.
No, all the time.
Like,
people will pee on you and tell you it's raining.
I'm crazy. Like, so I gotta ask y'all, how are we feeling about this? Like, I know y'all get mad at me because y'all say I always talk about the mayor, but I just feel like these things be happening. And then when it's a robot dog walking up in your house and setting off a time bomb, then we gonna be crying.
I would say any alderman who wants to be more than an alderman one day, if they stood up and said, how come we don't have a committee, and is there any surveillance going on or equipment testing that we don't know about? I think a lot of people would pay attention, like, what? What's going on?
Here's me. If I was the alderman knowing that happened and it's an off the books program, I'd be like, what else you got?
Batcave?
I'd be like, remember that time I told you I was in City Hall and I tried to take the clock off. I was the chief of staff. Check this
I
out.
remember.
Chief of staff. I was chief of staff, 18th Ward. Walking to the to City Hall, in our City Hall office, and I see on the wall they have this clock with the city seal on it. Now I'm like, man, that is a dope clock. We could just take that clock and take it to the office. So I climb up on the desk. As I'm climbing up on the desk and I'm moving the clock, I'm literally still on the desk. Someone comes in and says, "What are you doing with that clock?" Said, "I'm gonna take it to the ward office. It's city property. No, not that clock.
Not that clock.
You can get a replica of that clock, but you can't take that clock." Now,
That clock has a camera. You can't.
That
take
clock has a camera, and a mic. Now, if you go to Intergovernmental Affairs, to the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, you will often be in the meetings, and the head of Intergovernmental Affairs will say, "Hold on one second," and he will reach over to his box and he will turn it up, and he will listen to what is happening in city council or in a city council committee hearing.
Right.
Now, me, Maze Jackson, if I'm wiring the building, I'm wiring the whole damn building. Now, I can tell you, I don't mess with that switch unless I need to. And I guess my question is, if the mayor was authorizing surveillance of a drone type without any oversight off the books between her and the police, remember what I told you about why Burke and those other guys always wanted to be in tight relationship with the police? Because of ICE? Because they could always collect information? I know y'all believe that the mayor is probably above that. But if you knew you could, and no oversight, and nobody knew, would you? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. How do you feel about a drone program with no oversight? Did you know that the city was surveilling you with drones? Where does that information go? What do they do with the footage? Who gets surveilled?
People have done that in the past. I mean, I don't know if in this city, but in other cities, collected information, like you're saying, and just kind of kept it as
in their file.
Yeah.
It's called a dragnet.
What you mean a dragnet?
You didn't see that show.
No, it's like the concept of like a dragnet.
What's the concept of it?
You know, like if you fishing and then you do a dragnet and you just
Take the net and drag it.
catch everything. And so that's like the concept of like the American surveillance. If y'all, if you watch, some stuff, you basically, that's the way the program works, is they just get everything. So then in 10 years, if they got to go back and look at what Maze Jackson said on August 7th, 2017, they got it just in case they need it. So it's called like the dragnet concept. That's how surveillance works in American society. They just take everything, and the thing is, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that is what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I gotta look up Dragnet, because
I think
why did they make that show called Dragnet?
I think we got a resident expert here once again.
I
right. She knows exactly.
This is this is like something that really interests me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing do y'all remember when they killed that black man with that robot bomb?
Yeah, that was David Brown. Okay. That was David Brown.
So that was like the first time like the U.S. law enforcement used like a robot bomb to kill somebody or whatever.
No, she's talking about in Philadelphia.
It was in Dallas. It was the black man.
It's Dallas. You talking about Move when they dropped the bomb on them. She's talking about. She's talking about in Dallas when they sent the bomb thing in. Was the shooter? He was sniping people
police because he was upset about the police killing black people and
David Brown.
And they blew him up with a robot bomb.
David Brown, Ruthie.
But that was like the first time, allegedly that had happened, by the U.S. law enforcement. But what that kind of showed us is that the line between the militarization of the police departments and warfare is blurry. And there was like during like Ferguson, there was like this huge pushback against some of these military tactics that the police were using against the Ferguson protesters. And so that's where the concept of like the police and like the military equipment that they have really came to like the forefront. And people was like, Obama, you need to stop letting the Pentagon sell they surplus stuff to the police departments. Remember, the Pentagon, they was just giving that stuff away. And people, and that's part of the defund the police idea is that, hey, not only are they getting funds, but they also getting surplus military equipment. And I like to think that if they gonna let Jeff Bezos fly you a package to your house, please trust and believe that the police gonna be able to fly an arrest something to your house. Like, they not about to let technology get past them. There is no way that the military and the police are gonna let technology get past them. So if you talking about, you know how they about to put the little flying car pad, you don't think the police gonna have a flying car pad too? They ain't about to let y'all get up in the air.
I'm sorry. What's a flying car pad?
Yeah, Uber's about to, like, flying cars are here.
Oh, I did hear Uber was trying to test something.
Trying.
Oh, they're doing it, huh?
Trying.
You just saw, and then on top of that, you see now that Kroger is launching groceries, drone delivery groceries, up to 5 pounds. Now, you also know that, like, you know, you be looking up in the sky, like when you watch those other movies, the drone be like, you be like, it's car number 3, and it, remember, you know, you watch the war movies, and it be a trailer.
Those are not war movies. That is real. If you want to see when Edward Snowden and them released, you know what I'm saying, the WikiLeaks stuff, there was some videos up in there that showed drone strikes and what they look like. And it was some few high profile ones. So if you really want to see it and understand, like, dang, like, I could literally just be sitting, kicking it on my front porch, and all of a sudden, obliterated. And so where is the line between police departments and warfare?
Well, we can't find out in Chicago because we didn't even know it was happening. Think about this. Now, I'm okay. Y'all, we got to be real clear. If you know the capabilities of drones right now, they literally are not using pilots right now. They are blowing up. They are going to war with these drones.
Good movie on Prime. Anthony Mackie. It speaks to this.
Okay.
I just can't remember the name of it because, you know, I just passed through and I see Anthony Mackie. I was like, I'm going to watch that.
Oh, well, all I'm saying is we'll leave that alone. Yeah, understand that they have released the hounds on us. Let's go to the live line real quick before we go to break. Brother Frank, what you feel about this mayor releasing drones on us and not telling nobody? And should somebody have to know about this?
Well, good morning, my brother and sister, Brother Mays, Brother Todd, Sister Ruthie, and Sonia. How y'all doing this morning?
We good, Brother Frank.
Well, I found myself in agreement with Ruthie once again. If you ain't doing nothing wrong, watch you have nothing to worry about. I do agree with this no good mayor on this, and that's all I can say on this and this only. But listen, all I want to do is make sure it's not just for the South and West Side. Do it for the whole city. Okay, because it's just going to lead to crime and violence just branching out and going elsewhere out of detection. I was the one who suggested to her when she was running for mayor to mandate video surveillance for all our homes. You can afford to buy a home and you can't buy the most basic video surveillance for the front and back of your home to protect the neighborhood and these landlords with these apartment builders mandated. So I'm like this. I'm for anything that's going to cripple this violence that's happening. Babies are being killed. So all bets are off. I really think we should go to the same system like they got in that movie with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man. I think we should really go to something like that. I have no problem whatsoever. I really don't. I'm agree with Ruthie again on this right here. And Brother Leslie said, do a segment where we can call in and congratulate Todd. Congratulations, Todd.
Oh, thank you.
Brother Todd, you're going to be mayor next. Next step is mayor. Next step is governor. Let's call in and talk to Todd and hope he listens to us. I'm with you, brother. Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Frank.
Even though I think Frank, I don't want to speak for Ruthie, but I didn't think Ruthie was really pushing that kind of.
No,
I wouldn't.
She wasn't. And I'm going to say, Frank trying to get Todd fired on the first day.
On the first day.
What you doing, man? Rule number one. Rule number one, man. Frank say he want to go to Demolition Man. I'm going to just tell you, That sounds really good until they choose what you do as being illegal.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yeah, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, but who's to say what's wrong?
So think about it like this. Remember when Trump put out the black identity extremist thing?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a government that's in control that then deems like the black people protesting police brutality as black identity extremists, now they getting hit with the drone surveillance because underneath the law, like they've, so I agree with what you're saying. And it's all about who is.
Ooh, they got you.
Oh,
see, there go drone, there go the mayor's surveillance.
Who is in control of the Justice Department?
Well, shoot, we just ain't the Justice Department though. We talking about Chicago.
We're back to Nazi Germany.
See, but this is my thing, right? I think Todd hit on a point. Like, there's got to be some federal and some local jurisdiction, and I do feel like, okay, I understand the police. I don't know if I'm okay with the mayor.
Man, y'all know what trumps everything?
What?
Public safety, national security. Those two things can be used to justify pretty much whatever.
Did you what the rise of the Nazis?
Mm-hmm.
The rise of the Nazis. The rise of the Nazis. Declare an emergency and then start whacking everybody. And the next day you wake up and all them people dead. And it's like the terrorists have done it. And the next thing you know, they say the black people done killed all our drone showed us.
What's the largest department that has been created in the last
Homeland Security.
Years? Homeland Security, yes.
Remember, Trump was going to turn them into the stormtroopers. It's the Mace Jackson show, remember? Hey, he was like, everybody $40,000 a year will be recruiting young black men, remember?
You mean the brown shirts?
Yup, it's the Mace Jackson show. We'll talk about it more when we come back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the Tax Credit Scholarship Program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning.
The Fraternal Order of Police. It is the president, John J. Catanzara Jr.
We all saw the Anjanette Young video.
Naturally, when someone hears, I didn't do it, you got the wrong place, you just discard it. You have an obligation to make sure that the rest of the place that you're doing a search warrant on is secure.
Okay, so you used the word naturally. And when you watch that video, naturally, a natural reaction would have been to provide her with some coverage for her naked body.
Have you ever been to police?
And so
have you ever been to police?
Let me finish my question. So a natural reaction was not what we saw from those white police officers.
A natural police reaction is to secure the scene.
So a natural police reaction is different from a natural
Well, we're
human
talking
reaction.
about police. We're not talking about you going into a building. We're talking about the police going into a building.
Hence why in the beginning of the question, I related it to training. Are police officers trained to not see black people as human? And so police training would make them naturally react to see me as an animal?
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer because that's just an ignorant statement to make. They went in there looking for an offender.
Who was not there.
Do you know that until you searched the whole place?
They did. They searched and she stood there naked.
And at that point...
After they had the scene secure, she still stood there naked.
Again... I already conceded the fact that they could have did a better job covering her up. But her race had nothing to do with it. And you're going to keep implying it. I'm going to keep telling you you're absolutely wrong.
Let me ask you a question. Is it a lack of training? Is it a lack of proper training?
No.
Oh, no,
keep telling you, you got the wrong place. You got the wrong place.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. We will kill you for our woman.
Hey, sunshines. If you didn't catch the last page in the Book of Dawn, here's what you missed. So you found that, but you also, during those times, made a conscious decision to create a base for yourself outside of the Isleys or the great artists that you tour with. And from that, the Mo Fitz Project was born. Can you tell us how and why you did the Mo Fitz Project?
Let me tell you something. I had been touring since I was 17. And what happened was your girl Eve was doing different events around town. And I remember it was right on 47th Street.
Yeah, I think it was Blue 47.
Yeah, one of those spots. So Eve was doing something with them. So they were like, we're hiring bands. I was like, I'm going to put something together and go play local. Let me do that. And through that situation from Eve, the Mo Fitz Project was birthed. I was like, oh, okay, this would be great to actually come home and put quality guys together and make music locally outside of the touring. I just found another joy in it. And crazy, remember Terrence Kane came up with the Mo Fitz.
Oh, did TK? Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Terrence was like, you need to call it the Mo Fitz, Ruthie. Mo Fitz. Use your name. This is how that name came about. It was Terrence Kane and my girl Eve Bridgeworth. She was the launching pad for that. And then she would hire me to do different events. And she started hiring me to do weddings and stuff she was doing. And then it just kind of birthed into that.
Don't forget to tune in weekdays, 9 a.m. to the Book of Dawn from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Roll Tide, y'all.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Same stuff, different light. New day, same fight. How it comes, how it goes. One's on top, one's that know. But they forgot, they forgot, they forgot. And you bury a seed, it grows. Different names, still a rose. We grew up, we grew tall. We knew then, we know now. What they forgot, they forgot. When you bury a seed, it grows. I know it. I know it. I know it.
listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Ruthie in the coat more, and Sonia Escobar. It is the Maze Jackson Show. It is the 8 o'clock hour, and we have been having our own show in this studio. I want to talk about a couple things. Some going to get us in trouble, some not. First of all, I did not hit the social media question of the day, but did you all see South Carolina House Majority Whip, third most, I didn't even say third most powerful at this point, third ranking Democrat in the House, said on national TV that he would not, qualified immunity is not a deal breaker in the negotiations as they rapidly approach trying to pass the George Floyd police reform bill before May 25th. My question is, do black people compromise too early and too easily? Now, I'm going to say that Jim Clyburn, for a total of 65 seconds, was the most appreciated and powerful black man in the Democratic Party.
You say 65?
65 seconds. The 65 seconds that it took to deliver the results of South Carolina that completely changed the momentum of the Democratic race and launched Joe Biden from obscurity and ineptitude to becoming the president of the United States. No sooner did Clyburn deliver black people was he summarily dismissed. We saw that the high-ranking black people that he wanted didn't necessarily come. He told us that he would accept the national. He did not get reparations on the board, and he also said that he would accept. He tried to get the national. He tried to not national anthem because he said a national song, "Lift Every Voice" to be a national song. It didn't happen. I would say that, quite frankly, and then if you watch the presidential address 2 weeks ago, you saw that it was clear that Clyburn, he didn't step up, didn't clap. He was pretty much every time you saw him on the camera, he was pretty sullen. Clearly demonstrating, and you know that clapping in those faces and all that is used by the analysts to kind of interpret the reception. I noticed that they didn't talk very much about Clyburn in that because everybody's celebrating Joe Biden and how great he is, and I'm not here for that either. But it just felt to me that Jim Clyburn, by saying before Democrats were through negotiating that he was willing to compromise on qualified immunity, which is the sticking point, is emblematic of where we sit as black people. Jim Clyburn forces us, first of all, Jim Clyburn, in my estimation, leveraged the power that he had to benefit the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. Sounds like black people in general. After he won, we saw that the priority for within 91 days, within the first 100 days, they passed an anti-Asian hate legislation. They went to help the LGBTQ, and we see ourselves sitting by the sideline. And now, as Joe Biden tries to pass, before the anniversary of George Floyd's death, the George Floyd police reform bill, the sticking point is qualified immunity. What is qualified immunity? It means that you cannot be protected as a police officer if you murder someone. You can be sued individually. Jim Clyburn said we can compromise on it, giving the white folks an out before the Democrats were ready to even compromise on that point. And before the black people were willing to compromise on that point. Who in the hell told Jim Clyburn that he got to cut out the most important part of it?
Compromise doesn't actually mean cut out. I don't know what he said he was going to do, but it doesn't. The term doesn't mean that we're getting rid of the whole thing.
Okay, so what he said was we should not sacrifice good on the altar of perfection, which sounds like the typical black cop-out, right? For political reasons. Now, I'm not gonna say that you don't compromise, but if that's the big 800-pound gorilla, and it's like that's your whole card, and you say we'll get that up front before we even they still trying to get through the minutia, and you say we'll give it up. If I told you,
but he's at a different level. We don't know how far they've gotten up in the leadership.
So it's clear. Well, according to Democrats on the Hill, they weren't ready to give up on qualified immunity. Now, if all the people negotiating and then the big dog comes in and says, y'all ain't got to worry about the qualified immunity, you just cut the...
No. It sounds like he said compromise. That's a totally different thing than giving up.
No, I thought he said it was not...
Well, I just took that from what you wrote.
Okay, so essentially you took that from what I wrote. He said, no, I said compromise. He said it's not a deal breaker. So if they don't get the qualified immunity... He's saying that they can still put the votes on it. So I'm saying, to me, if you gut the basis of what it all was about and then say we're going to give you this with the hope of passing a George Floyd memorial bill and say we passed the bill, but the bill doesn't address the problem, right? Because the police get to kill you and then be defended and not have... If that's the basis of what everybody is fighting over in all of these states, and then the big black dude comes in and who all the white people can then use and say, oh, well, your boss said, that's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. You've just cut the nuts out of your negotiating tools.
There's got to be more to it because he is only powerful through the people who voted for him.
And so I'm suggesting
And that would be
Nancy
people
Pelosi,
like
but,
Bobby Rush.
But he, no,
Or maybe it's Danny Davis. Probably both of them.
here's the lick. Jim Clyburn is Democrat before he is black in the Congress. Just acknowledge that.
Oh, I don't know because I'm not there, and I bet there'd be some pushback from our congressman. I'm guessing though.
The same congressman that got us a net total of what?
You do realize they are a minority in everything they do.
Do you see how we disqualify? See how we
everything
undercut
everything he does is trying to get uphill.
So again,
you know how the white folks work. If you can't get all the black Democrats, get a few Republicans, and then just totally ignore the black Democrats.
So I'm gonna say this. There are so many times where I'm going to tell you that the resolve of black people on this issue of being murdered by police, I bet you could get them to fight to the end.
I don't think Clyburn is going to just roll over and say, rub my belly. That's my thought. In the end, that's not going to happen.
He did for Joe Biden. What's the net outcome? What's his net win?
Well, nothing's passed yet, has it?
Asian hate bill, 94-1.
Well, some things are just coming down the pike.
See how we do.
Some things are coming down the pike, and they're going to happen.
So my thing is,
so what? You thought he was going to put a roadblock and try to stop that? Is that what you wanted from him?
Remember Tammy Duckworth? Hold on.
I know of her.
Okay, but remember Tammy Duckworth said, "I'm not voting for no more Joe Biden, nothing until we get some more Asians."
Yeah, but she took it back.
After they gave her the Asians.
No, she took it back first.
But they said, she took it back and they said, this is what we're going to do for you.
She took it back.
Again, what did we get? She got spots.
I'm not beating up on the black man and praising the Asian lady just because we feel that we didn't get what we wanted today.
I'm asking, do we compromise too early?
Ruthie, you got to be an objective voice.
I mean, yeah, we do. We always do. But it's because I think we be down so bad that we feel like we got to give something in order to get something. Like all the time. I feel like that's how they get us.
Well, that's actually the art of politics. If you don't give up anything,
what did the Asians give up?
It doesn't work for us, though.
What did the Asians give up? How did they get 94-1? What did they give up to get an anti-8? We still ain't got an anti-lynching bill. What did they give up? What are we and all of us voted for it. I'm saying, so what? You didn't vote for it. So what? So what? So be mad at us again. So the Asians gonna be. What's the Asian caucus gonna outvote us?
You ain't gonna get an anti-lynching bill because there's probably just too many Southerners in Congress.
And again, there is nothing that we will stand for.
No, I'm talking about white Southerners.
I'm suggesting
it's not like black people haven't been pushing and trying to get this stuff. See, I refuse to beat up on black people who I know have been fighting all their lives just because white people are the majority. We always trying to get things to happen, but if there's not enough of us, it never happens.
So I guess my thing is this. If me and you are negotiating, right? And we got 3 million things on the table. I don't want you to dip into my pool and take my leverage away. Now, if you can tell me that in exchange for the lack of qualified immunity they gave, right? And maybe that'll come out. But what you're seeing in the press and in the news is that Democrats are like, wait, we didn't say that yet. And so he basically went out and said and took it upon himself because, again, there is this desire right now, in my estimation, for, again, we just saw the anti-Asian hate bill pass, and we saw this for some people getting punched, right? We saw saw 6 people get shot, and we passed a bill to stop discrimination specifically against Asians, and we are literally sitting here negotiating against ourselves. Really. Now, all I'm suggesting is, if the black folks don't vote on the Asian hate bill because we can't get you to support the qualified immunity, who black is going to be upset about that? Now, if you're concerned again about, if you go to the table and the black folks say we're not voting on anybody's issues until George Floyd, the whole country went up. You, as the senior leader, come and undercut. You take the guts out of you take our biggest chip, the biggest thing that Republicans are fearful of, and you say, that's not going to bite you. I now don't have the same leverage to vote. I may be willing to give up qualified immunity, but don't have me negotiating, and then you on the news and the white boy's like, aha. And I'm not saying that Mr. Clyburn hasn't fought his whole life for black folks. I'm saying that his last 2 fights, he won for someone else. And I'm saying, why are we always the ones to have to? We tell every story about what we can't do with all of these people in Congress, and y'all, it ain't no Asians in Congress. We now talking about AAPI, whatever, something, and it's a whole thing. Tammy Duckworth told the president on national TV, I'm not voting for nothing else out of this administration. She took it back because they came to her and said, you can't be out here doing that. So what do you want? And yeah, she stood down, but she got something. And I'm saying, we understand how negotiations work. And I can even honor that qualified immunity may not get done. But while I'm talking about it, and I'm leveraging it, don't you come your ass over there and be like, that's okay, we don't need it. And you got because you're really talking about Nancy, you're really speaking for Nancy Pelosi. Because at that point, you're being a Democrat, not a black man.
No, I wouldn't say he's being a Democrat. He understands how leadership works. I'll tell you, God, it's been a long time. So maybe 30 years ago, I said to Dick Durbin, what's it like to be a congressman? Because he was a congressman. And he says, it's top heavy. The speaker pretty much controls everything that's going on. So in that, I would think that what's really going on is, you're right. He's speaking not from her voice, but he knows exactly what she told him. And it's like, man, those votes aren't there. You're not going to get what you want in that sense. But that doesn't mean there's not some other things that you can get. Now, right. we don't know what it is because he hadn't talked about it yet, right?
Burn it. I'm going to just say this.
You can burn it. You always talk that stuff, but you're a capitalist. You ain't burning nothing.
Crazy.
Except a couple of steaks.
I try not to burn my steaks. I'm a medium rare guy. Then it seems to me what you're saying is we're on the hamster wheel. And all I'm saying is this. It seems like...
It's like being the mayor of Chicago. As I always say, until you become the mayor of Chicago, a black person, we ain't never getting what we really need. Until we get a black person who's the speaker, we probably not won't get exactly what we want either.
So how do the immigrants do it? How do the Asians do it? How
because
does everybody else
it's like
do it?
a track. A track is an oval. It's 400 meters. Those other groups, white people look at them and say, here, you can start at 300. And black people, they say, you start at this line and then you run all the way around. We know that they're not going to treat us equally. It's always a fight.
And so understanding that it ain't going it's not a fight if you lay down before somebody got a bloody eye. If you give
you don't know what happens when that man goes home. He probably cries every night thinking he's
and that's exactly what we don't like. I'm just saying we're third fight. How do you put this? So it's like my son can punch me. Well, now he can't because that would hurt. But it used to be a time when my son could walk up and he could just go to town. He could punch me all day long. And it's and for all his effort, he wore himself out.
Right.
Right? And there's a point when you say, good job, good and faithful servant, but this ain't your fight no more because we ain't singing We Shall Overcome. Like, there's got to be a point when you measure some kind of success. And, like, to me, I'm going to be honest with you. Jim Clyburn, I respect the concept of him being powerful, but powerful is the ability to influence your will on people, even if they don't want to do it. And I don't necessarily agree that he's powerful. And I would argue that I don't agree right now that there's really, we have the illusion of power. Like, the illusion of power is like you get the title, but he can't walk into the thing and say, I'm pulling 30 votes off of everything else or black. Again, when does Jim Clyburn walk in and say, Madam Chair? He's the same person that we just got through talking about at Sterling Bay. He's the same person. He's the same person that walks into Sterling Bay and says, let me navigate, let me compromise, but we're going to get around this issue. They all want to be able, I'm going to tell you, they're going to pass this George Floyd bill, and everybody is going to be running around clamoring about it, not because of what it does or what it changes, but because they passed the bill. And everybody will be able to say, we passed this, and he said, because the president, no, let's fight until we get what we want out of it. Forget that May 25th deadline. It's a disrespect to his memory to be able to say, we passed a bill that allows the same stuff to happen again. Go, Ruthie. I'm sorry.
No, you listen, I'm quiet because you are absolutely spot on right. I think we always give up our power too early, and it does affect negotiations. But I think part of it is that people be negotiating in their silos. They don't be thinking about the collective. And that's how we always get picked off and sold off. Exactly. I mean, this is a great example because qualified immunity is really the buzzword if we want legislation changed and policy.
Just think if a cop couldn't shoot you and know that they was going to be protected from just because they're a cop, right? And it's like, so we watched this man die, 11 minutes, and y'all, there was no compromise between the knee and the neck, and the sidewalk. None. No compromise. And for us to sit up here, I'm
guessing that Mr. Clyburn knows how to count, which is why he said that. He's like, man, the votes aren't there. We're going to have to figure out what we can get out of this because the votes aren't there.
And I'm suggesting,
oh well, let them not be there. Can we at least see what's gonna happen?
Yep.
Can we? What is it? What's the process called? Like, can we play it out? Like, don't just give up your power. Let's play it out and see what happened.
But you also got to remember, he doesn't get to call bills.
So my point is, again, it's the same thing as sitting at that table and being like that. Like, sometimes you're going to have to lose. We just got through talking about this. Sometimes you got to take a loss and get a bloody eye. And I'm going to tell you, Nancy Pelosi can't afford no black bloody eyes. She don't want the Black Caucus to be like, yo, this ain't right. Like, I'm tired of white people telling me what to do.
This isn't a Claiborne issue. This is, you hit it on the head. This is a Black Caucus issue.
I'm with you. I'm saying, but when you take your Black Caucus issue, because I didn't hear him, did he take a vote with the Black Caucus? No, he didn't. He spoke on his own and said, as many people do, I'm going to make the call because Nancy said. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Since 2018, nearly 3,000 tax credit scholarships have been awarded to black students in Illinois to attend private schools that best fit their needs. Now, Governor Pritzker wants to slash this program. In a time of much uncertainty, we need greater equity in education for our families and children, not less. Call your state representative and senator and urge them to stand up for our kids and their future by supporting the tax credit scholarship program. For more information, visit empoweredillinois.org.
If I tell them to blow, I keep that metal close. That's how we ride in Chicago.
Alderman Lopez,
Welcome back to the Maze Jackson Show. The mayor has a very peculiar way she's dealing with this, and I'm trying to understand why does it seem like we're handling this with kid gloves.
The reason that she's not going after the root cause, which is gangs, the reason she's not calling out the silent enablers, as I tweeted out the other day, is because those are many of the same people that she relied on to get elected. I'm talking about the not-for-profits, those that reach out for grants and try to be the intermediaries in a community to try and bridge some of these anti-violence groups, things of that nature. These organizations that say they're trying to build bridges oftentimes are the ones that are enabling the gang lifestyle and allowing it to go unchecked and not holding accountable the individuals causing the violence in the neighborhoods. Those same partners, which she funds, which she relies on, were unceremoniously all pimping themselves out at a press conference. Ooh. Saying nobody said a word about gangs, but what they did say is that we need more money for the programs that we offer to help stop the violence. And clearly for more money to go to organizations that are working against the residents of the city of Chicago.
Alderman, how did y'all approve $37 million to go to one ward for violence prevention? $37 million? I don't think there's been a $37 million investment in anything black.
When these amendments to the budget and when these programs come before us, and I've asked the last time that these were proposed by the administration, what metrics are we using to ensure that everyone with their hand out was not still enabling gangbangers in the middle of the night? And oftentimes have intervened on behalf of gangbangers, particularly in the Latino community. When you see in other communities, like the black community, when you start doling out contracts to, say, Metropolitan Family Services, and now they're responsible for doling out to organizations to come into neighborhoods like, for example, West Englewood, contract out to organizations that have no connection to a community, build no bridges to a neighborhood, but get $300,000 to stop violence.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host. Dang, that was abrupt. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. She like, you cut my song, I'm going to cut your music. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar in the building. Hey, I got a question. I want to understand the difference between Israelis, and Jewish people. And the reason that I gotta ask this is because I'm watching all of there is right now wars and bombings going on between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
So Palestine.
Well, I don't. So here's what I don't understand.
I don't think they had an election. Did they have the election?
They had a couple of elections, and one was with Benjamin Netanyahu, and then the other guy won, and then they was trying to figure out a collaborative government. And there's a lot going on, but I want to back up because I need to get to a place where I need some understanding. So I don't understand Jewish versus Israel, and I don't know why America is so inextricably linked to Israel, considering at least what I would interpret to be some of the same human rights issues that we fight against in other countries. I even think about, like, when I think about the immigrants and how we are so protective of immigrants and their rights in America, but I don't understand how it works in Israel. And why does it seem like no matter, like, I watch these videos and these people are throwing rocks. It's like you throw rocks, they drop, like, they send airplanes. They shoot missiles. They like destroy whole joints. And I'm trying to understand this, and why is it that even as we watch it, like we're tied to it. And then, particularly for black people who have been oppressed and are marginalized in so many places, why does it seem like our black congressmen don't have any concern for the people that are being bombed? And I guess I don't understand the difference between Jewish and Israeli. And why is it that we are so inextricably linked that even when we watch people being killed, we don't say, y'all got to stop this? Like, you can't, if they ain't got no airplanes and no tanks and no other stuff, and I hear you with the bomb or whatever, but if you know somebody is, you know what that reminds me of, Todd? Harlem Nights. Remember, quit!
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
And then the Hamas be like, back. What is it that I don't understand? Can y'all help me? And I let me also say this. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, because I also know that the moment that you have, see, look, phone ringing right now.
I just got a text.
What I want to understand, though, is I don't understand it. I don't understand this whole thing. Can y'all help me understand it some kind of way? Does anybody get it?
Well, Hamas, who are, or they were last week, the government in place in Palestine, but it's like that other group whose name, they are not like Al Qaeda.
No, Al Jazeera is the news. Al Qaeda?
No, Al Qaeda. I'm almost sure of this.
Al Jazeera is a TV show, TV network.
Let me finish. All these groups are just part of a bigger group. So Hamas is not just like the army. It's also a political group, and they have other arms that do other things. So it's a big group that just divided into, you got this function, you got this function. So they are dangerous, and they get things done. But you're right, they don't have like the power that Israel has. But Israel also has to be careful of how much power they exert on the Palestinians, because if they do too much, there'll be tremendous backlash from
who?
America, Britain, all of those groups will be like, well, we can't support you if you do A.
No, we'll just look over there while you do it. We won't. It's not we can't support you. It's like we won't look at. And then my other question is like, we tend to fight for people to have their independence in America. Why is this different? Right? Like, why do we believe that these people should not have the right to self-govern?
Which people?
You're right.
Palestinians.
This is a big.
The Palestinians, the people who were, I guess, what I would say were originally there. And I'm not tripping, because in the Bible,
then exactly, the Israelis will say, well, no, we were here first.
Yeah, but even when you read the Bible, the Lord said, go conquer the land. Now, if we're saying that that's what it is, then I'm not bugging that out, but I just want to understand that. So and why are black people undyingly tied to Israel? Israel? It seems like we are. I mean,
I think it's the civil rights movement.
So, but is the civil rights movement the same as Israel? Right? Because I feel like that's the difference. So my mom was telling me that my mother has an affinity for Jewish people, because she said when her father was killed, the Jewish people in the community knew how it happened, and she had 14 brothers and sisters, and they took good care of him, right? Mm-hmm. And we hear about this link from the civil rights era, and I feel like that's different than Israel to me. the people that marched with Dr. King is different than the people. Because I thought that is, like, quite frankly, Benjamin Netanyahu was down with Trump. Like, super down. Isn't he indicted right now? I'm not, right. Something like that.
Yeah, he's got some troubles.
But I don't understand, like, why is it that no black people in Congress or anybody see any injustice when it comes to this? Like,
Palestinians aren't around.
But I think some of the, who was that elected official? I think it was Cortez. Somebody. So essentially, So
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes, thank you. So essentially, what that kind of put on display was, can you, as an elected official, as a politician, heck, as just any person, can you critique and criticize Israeli foreign policy without the words anti-Semitism coming up?
Anti-Semitism or them spending millions of dollars. Right.
Exactly, Todd.
But again, we're watching people get killed. Now, here's me. This is the same Israel that right now is kicking out the black Hebrew Israelites. They're literally like, you got to leave in 60 days. Right? You know, black folks that left Chicago, as a matter of fact, and went to Benin, right? Mm-hmm. There is a whole black community of black Hebrew Israelites in Israel that Israel is kicking out. That's like, y'all don't belong here. Y'all got to get out. And it seems like we don't, I don't understand why it's almost like it's untouchable. Like, you can't talk about it. I mean, think about this. I'm really nervous about even having this conversation because you know that, and then if I say that I could get cut off, then it'll be I'm doing something wrong. But when I watch those videos, y'all, when I watch those videos, and it seems like it seems very disproportionate when people are throwing rocks and you get to hit them back with bullets. And it seems often, and I don't, it seems very much like some of the same fights that we have here in America as black folks. Like, literally, when you look at the police and the interactions and after somebody gets killed and all of those different things. And I guess my question is, like, what is black people's allegiance to Israel? And is there a difference between Israel and Jewish? I don't want nobody to get in trouble. So if y'all worried about y'all, just let me know.
I think the pursuit of capital and money being disproportionately out of black people's hands.
Careful.
It ties us to where the money resides.
Yeah, but is the money in Israel for us?
So it ties us to where the money resides. And so Israel is a place.
I think that when you get out in the world, out of your neighborhood, you almost always tend to run into some Jewish people. And like you said, black people tend to have some kind of Jewish friend. Now, that Jewish friend, if they're really doing something in the world, at some point may say, hey, I'm doing something for Israel. They're gonna ask for your support. And then, like, you always say, do you support your friend or do you not support your friend? So you support your friend. I don't think black Americans really have a true tie to Israel, just like we have no tie to, like, Afghanistan. We don't know really anything about those places. And if there are Afghanistanians that we ran into who were like, hey, this is happening, and, we actually socialize with them, we'd probably have a real feel for what's going on there, but we don't. But we do have Jewish people who feel they have a tie to Israel. So that makes our tie.
Something else I always thought about was that, how, like, as just like a black American, like, oftentimes we like, man, I wish I had a homeland. I wish I had somewhere to go. So I think that might be, I feel like that's a part of it. It's like, well, If I had some land that somebody gave me that I took, I'm gonna defend it to the end too.
I mean, so they're basically doing what America did, essentially. I mean, it's the same thing.
Well,
It's
I
like
think
they
that was a part of giving them that space. Somebody, who else gonna police the Middle East? Somebody got to be the police over there.
That's pretty deep. So I y'all, you're not supposed to have these conversations. I just don't know. It seems to me that part of what struck this conversation up to me was me watching this war, watching the stuff that's going on. The other part that struck up to me was that, did you realize that Michael Reese and the $96 million investment that they're having in Michael Reese, the Michael Reese site, that the largest hospital operator in Israel would be moving into that place?
Oh.
In Bronzeville?
Didn't know.
See, I always become inquisitive when these things happen. Now, why is the largest hospital operator in Israel moving into Michael Reese? Why are we spending $96 million? Why are we spending $96 million? I just don't understand our tie to Israel. And I'm not hating on it because I don't want them to cut my media off. But it's like these things are hilarious.
That's why we got the tie, because we got a lack of capital.
Yeah, but we don't see that capital.
But I think they're
it's
also,
the proximity.
It's not just capital, but we also see them as a people who've been beaten up over the years, as we have. So there's that tie too.
But they participated in the beating of us.
Kinda.
No. They do.
So
economically, and then just think about this: when they bounced out of our communities,
yes,
they sold it all to the Arabs, who they having war with over in Israel. Help me understand it. Like, nobody like black people. Period. Like, they was like, we don't get along with none of you.
No, they don't like us, but people always use our struggle to advance their own stuff.
And I'm telling you, people have Jewish friends. I mean, it's just that simple.
Jewish friends.
I got Jewish friends.
They nice too. They nice
I got
people.
Jewish friends, and they always be like, you people.
Arab friends are kind of that's kind of a new
I
thing.
don't have Arab friends.
There's my point. And that's a tie.
No. But that, like, I have Jewish friends, and a lot of times they're my Jewish friends because they've made millions out of my community, and there's a guilt complex, or they got this thing that they got to deal with in the back of their mind. Because how many of your Jewish friends are poor?
Still your friends?
None.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Exactly.
Where am I going to find some Jewish poor people? I mean, I'm not going to go searching for them.
I'm just saying, the reality is, a lot of people are our friends from guilt.
People be co-opting our struggle. Think about how them white people treated Jewish people. Them other white, I don't even know the difference between the whites, but them white people couldn't stand Jewish people. Still don't like them. You see what he say about the Jewish people?
Who?
Caught in the little tap that they only do business with
Jewish people.
Basically,
who said that?
He said
Ed Burke.
Ed Burke.
Basically, just said they were clannish. Well, that's just
Which
about
is-
every group I know,
Except black people.
except for black people. Right?
Except for black people.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me that we take these positions, and for the cost of a trip, nobody says nothing.
Oh, that's another thing. They
proximity.
No, they use public relations. They actually go out and try to get you to come to Israel to see what it's like, and
then be like, why would these terrible people over here be throwing bombs at this wonderful place?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess that's what they're trying to get you to think.
PR. You right, Todd.
Hey, we ain't been to Israel. Todd, we need to go to Israel. Let's check it out.
It's like,
would they take us to Palestine though? They probably do like the.
I don't think so.
Probably the part that they own.
Right, because they'll tell you the rest of it's too dangerous for you.
Yeah.
Man, we from Chicago.
It's like the University of Chicago kids.
Uh-oh, careful.
No, I'm saying they tell them to stay on the campus.
Yeah, she's right.
Stay on the campus.
And they got a guard every 2.
That's what I'm saying. But them guards, they be black people standing on the corners.
That's exactly
protecting the white people.
And I heard a student say once that they rode their bike south on Cottage Grove, and they were like, "It's awful."
Listen, you can put it just because you. Never mind.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Say it.
I got a future.
Right. And
I got a future.
You got a future, and you know who controls it, and so we know
who you can't criticize.
We know who we cannot offend. Well, maybe I don't. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. So for Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze says, stay tuned, y'all. Up next is the Book of Dawn.